Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, a.k.a. the Pandy Pods.
A.k.a. two nice boys, lots of noise.
A.k.a. too shrewd to be glued. A.k.a. Sklarbro, that's TJ Lancaster, keeping it short, keeping it sweet. That's what we're doing. We're going to jump right into another story, into a story. We're just cruising along here, working on our show, trying to get this done, trying to get it out to you. Excited. I guess this drops after, we're recording this before, but this drops after the Jack Black episode. We just announced who our next guest is, hopefully.
We are in talks with a few people right now, trying to make it happen.
It's amazing how time travel happens, when this drops versus when we're recording it versus other things that have happened. But thank you to everyone who came out to the Jack Black show. And get your tickets for the March 20th stand-up show, Eventbrite.com.
That's what we're doing, stand-up and a little bit of cheap seats.
We're going to try it out. I can't wait. Let's jump into this story.
Let's do it.
This is crazy that this happened. So The Simpsons, in my opinion, and we're the biggest Simpsons fans ever, they, in my opinion, nailed the sort of van down by the river energy of the bus driver. And I know
Otto the bus driver.
Right. I know I slapped an SNL van down by the river Matt Foley thing on Otto, but it applies.
The bus driver in all our lives, the school bus driver, is someone you don't want to pull the carpet up on. You don't want to know too much about that guy.
That's the thing. If you start
or that woman.
Right. If you start asking what's going on with that person within seconds, you're going to hear about, the
their
lawsuit
divorce
that he was named in, the divorce, why he doesn't have custody,
how he's just got kicked out of his apartment and he's living in the bus,
how he's trying to finagle workers' comp benefits by crushing his own foot in the electric ramp for the handicapped kids,
and
disabled kids.
And so what? He liked to drink after shows. That's not a reason to get kicked out of the band that he was in.
You're gonna get an earful about the ex-wife who expects him to pay for a stepkid that wasn't his, and he's like, "Why do I have to pay for the stepkid even though I was that kid's father?" You're gonna get an earful if you just say
2 golf courses won't let me even drive by them. You're like,
all you asked him was, "What'd you think of the Super Bowl halftime show?" And now you're suddenly into why he doesn't have any money in his Venmo account.
That's why you don't talk to school bus drivers.
And yet, you are happy to put your children's just let
lives
them, right?
Just drop them into the lap of this person
on a vehicle that
no seatbelts.
You can just get up and walk around on.
Yeah, we're so hyper vigilant about the way. I mean, if we were that way in our cars in general with our kids,
we used to be.
And now so it didn't seem out of step back in the day, but now kids just bouncing around and walking around in a bus, it's not safe.
It's also a vehicle that's harder to maneuver
yes.
than a family reunion with Woody Allen.
Correct.
It's either that we can't be bothered to do the background check, or we don't want to know the truth about these people,
or we just are having this blind faith that things just work out because most of the time they do.
And don't question it. Just do not question it.
If we don't question it,
just get on the bus and hope for the best.
If we don't test, then we're not going to get a lot of positive tests.
Maybe someone should have checked out this guy. In the next story, now he's not a school bus driver, but he's a bus driver.
And he's nuts.
Right.
And it's nuts.
Here we go.
Okay.
A bus, or a coach, as they call them in England.
Like a stagecoach.
Driver smashed into a central reservation of a dual carriageway whilst dancing.
So the median, okay.
Right. Well, I'll explain it all. This is all very British language for he crashed in the median and then went into a ditch. While dancing behind the wheel, has been handed a 2-year driving ban. Now, this happened when we're recording this. Tiger Woods just flipped over.
Which is insane, and we don't know the details yet of that, and we will talk about that
hopefully
on our podcast.
When this drops, I hope he's okay. I hope he's in surgery as we're recording this right now.
What we know so far is that Tiger Woods' injuries are not life-threatening, but
he is in serious condition.
Yeah.
He's in serious condition, and they're working on his legs right now, which both may be broken. It's just insane. But he went across a median and flipped over. Mm-hmm. But this guy crashed into a median because he was dancing behind the wheel on the bus.
Does 2 years feel like a long enough time to teach this guy a lesson?
We're going to find out.
Okay.
Kieran Jury. I love that his last name is Jury, and there should
a jury will soon be deciding his fate.
And it's not going to be Kieran Jury.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No.
Was driving the Laguna coach, which is, again is a bus, near Bournemouth in Dorset when he actually turned his attention away from the road to have what they're calling is a spontaneous boogie.
That makes it sound too cute for what he was doing.
Right. This is an old school F up, in my opinion. This is not him checking, not him on Tinder. This is not him checking his TikTok to kind of see how many responses he gets. No, there have been radios in buses for years, for decades.
This could have happened in 1979.
Listening to Disco Inferno. Get on up on the floor and you boogie oogie oogie till you just can't boogie no more.
Yeah.
And he took that word as gospel.
He went and did it. He went for it.
The vehicle was traveling on the A338 dual carriageway, which I believe is probably like a two-way road.
Two-way highway.
Right. Careened in the Central Reservation before rebounding into a ditch, causing thousands of pounds of damage. Oof. So went to the median, flew into a ditch because he had to get his dance on. He couldn't wait. He could not wait. The music got up in him, Jay.
What in the world could this dude have been listening to?
Why couldn't he have just screamed and sung at the top of his lungs?
Or pounded on the steering wheel? He had to get up.
He didn't really get up. I don't know if he stood up. I like to assume that he stood up, but he just was moving around. Because that's the false sense of security that a bus or a van gives you, right? That you can just walk around in it. Like we could just waltz around in a Mark III conversion van.
Because it's like a room.
Right.
It's a room.
Just because there's a pathway to wander doesn't mean you should wander around.
You're still on a road.
Right. Bus driver was like, wow, I see people getting up and moving around. Why can't I get up? I don't think he got up. I think he was just dancing behind. He took his eyes off the road. But still, the fact that he feels like this,
he's like, that's racist against me.
Yeah.
A driver.
Where are drivers' rights, huh?
Drivers' lives matter.
Jury from Bournemouth was returning from a trip from Gatwick Airport with no passengers on board. So thankfully, there was no one on board.
Correct.
When the incident took place on March 15th of last year. So this is just a
either
rehash.
He's bad at what he does, or I guess there's no passengers right now because less people are traveling. I don't understand.
Imagine if this is the guy that's supposed to take you from Gatwick Airport to get your rental car. Mm-hmm. This guy who's not paying attention. And by the way, we got on those things all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just standing up with your luggage and like...
This guy's whipping and neighing all over the place, and you can't get into the cul-de-sac where you need to drop off and stop off at a Hertz rent-a-car.
Prior to the crash, he was also seen tossing litter out into the road by the coach's internal CCTV. Yep, it's just his world. We're all living it. Everything is, he's going to dance when he wants. He's going to throw stuff out on the, not in the trash can. It's like
he's got a whole set of rules that only apply to him.
Right.
No one else actually doesn't have to follow the rules of the world.
And the rules stop when the bus can't drive itself.
Right.
This, by the way, is like...
he feels like he's getting into international waters when he's stepping onto the bus.
Here's the thing. This is more of a case than ever that we need self-driving vehicles.
Yes.
The prisoners who had to pick up the trash that he threw out the window probably laughed their orange vest asses off at him as soon as he careened into the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're picking up the trash that he just threw out.
They see stuff going out the window, they give him the bird, and then boom, he comes around and about right into the median.
He now has appeared at Poole Magistrates Court where he admitted to one charge of dangerous driving and another of throwing litter. I'm glad they got him on the litter thing.
Yeah.
The litter thing bothers me it's not going to kill anybody, but it just bothers me too.
Yeah.
The litter thing really bothers me. I love that, like, don't let this 27-year-old kid get away with anything.
No.
Also, did you not know that there was a camera on your bus?
How do you not know that?
The camera is there to protect you in case someone comes on or anything bad happens on your bus. It allows you to see it. It is also there to catch you if you are not paying attention, recording your every move. I bet you danced up to it.
Yeah, he probably was
all
like
sexy
playing to the camera.
That's right.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
All right.
When we come back, we're going to tell you what else happened to this guy.
What the court heard. What the court heard
what
from
the
the
court
jury.
heard from the jury about the jury or about whatever. We'll get into it on the other side of this break. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Again, thank you for coming to the Jack Black Show. We got another one that's on the books right now. April 10th is going to be that show.
But between now and then, Randy
March
and I...
20th, we're doing a live stand-up show, and then we're going to do live cheap seats. We've never done that at Nowhere Comedy Club. Very excited to try that out. Should be a blast, and you guys can be the first to check that out. Get your tickets. Those are selling right now. Want to fill that thing up and have as many of you guys out there as possible. It's been about a year since we did a full stand-up set, so excited to do that.
Yep.
Should be really fun. Eventbrite.com. Also, follow us on Stereo. Randy Sklar, Jason Sklar, and we do conversations. We sort of do the after show for this, and we just talk about subjects. Last week we talked about Woody Allen.
Yep.
We'll talk about anything. Like we'll get into the biggest topics of the day with you. It's a great discussion. You leave voicemails and we voice memos, and we just respond to them in real time. That's Stereo. Get the free Stereo app. Follow us. We do it 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday and Wednesday. Then we do Sports Talk Friday at 3 p.m. And on Tuesdays at 4, we do Dumb People Town. So check that out. All right. So when we left, this guy...
he had gotten up and danced, or he had danced and
Danced
taken
behind
his
the wheel,
eyes
took
off the
his eyes
road
off the
after
road.
he threw trash outside of the bus.
Yeah.
Then crashed into the median and landed into a ditch. Thank God there were no passengers.
Right. So here's the end. Nobody else got hurt by this.
Right.
But by the way, there was a car coming the opposite way. And so the court heard that jury was traveling at such a speed that the passenger of a car on the other side of the highway thought jury would smash through the center divider and hit him.
Jeez.
Yeah. You know, when you're driving down a road and you see a bus coming towards you, most times you just assume that the driver isn't dancing instead of driving the bus.
Right.
Okay. You just think to yourself, well, he's going to go his way and I'm going to go my way.
No, there's a moment where I think sometimes cars are coming into my lane.
Chris Nightingale. I love everybody's name in this thing.
It's very British.
Prosecuting told the court he was in New Hampshire traveling along the A31 to the Slip Road junction of Ashley Heath roundabout. There's so many words in there that are so British. At a time just short of 6 p.m. in the evening. His behavior as he was traveling along the A31 became increasingly bizarre.
Yes. He started dancing. He got his boogie on.
He was littering and dancing like no one was watching, or driving next to him or across from him.
Like no one was watching, including himself.
Throwing litter out the window, but the internal CCTV shows him dancing on the driver's seat, at times not having any control over the vehicle, and traveling at speed.
Jeez.
He's not slowing down. What in the world was he listening to, Jay?
And there's a camera capturing your every move, dummy.
I feel like his music choice has to be on trial here, too. All right? What would have made him lose control like that? Megan Thee Stallion?
The Weeknd, maybe?
Daft Punk, R.I.P. They broke up. Mo Bamba. It's impossible to say the speed.
Like what, man? Mo.
All right. Speed when the vehicle was going around the corner. Really? Just check the camera. I'm sure there's a camera on the odometer, right? There is a CCTV camera in there. Jury, apart from the caution for possession of ecstasy, had no previous convictions. It wasn't even nailed for ecstasy. It's like, please be careful.
Yes. If you have it, be careful. Maybe don't drive a bus.
He's also been working as a stay-at-home dad since the incident. Wait, what? Apart from the ecstasy possession,
That's that little thing?
I mean,
and he's a stay-at-home dad.
It's not a big thing.
It's fine if you like to eat. You like to roll.
I hope he
E.
doesn't do it in front of his kids,
or he doesn't start rolling as he rolls the van out for work.
You talk about the coach?
Yes.
Leah Dillon, mitigating, said at the time of the incident, this young man was suffering from undiagnosed ADHD.
Come on, that's not.
That is something that ecstasy is prescribed for. Wait, no, it isn't. That'll just cause him to have fun. He has ADHD. He's 27 years old.
Which, by the way, too young to drive a bus, I think.
Right?
I think 27's like, you just, in America, that's only 2 years after you've been able to rent a car.
Yeah, rent a car.
So now you're driving a bunch of other people in a bus, and you have an ecstasy problem, and you're already a dad?
Yeah.
I would have eliminated him if he made the choice to already become a dad at 27. I'm like, this guy hasn't lived enough yet.
You're too young to be taking people to and from Gatwick Airport. I just know that to be true. He was
too young to be dancing to music, I think.
And while you should be driving. He was so remorseful in fear of why he was behaving like this. He was in fear of why he was behaving like this.
I don't understand that. I don't get that at all.
I don't know that. Was he? I don't get that. Or the fact that he was not paying attention at all while he was driving a bus down a highway. Maybe that's what he was in fear of.
That's probably what he was in fear of.
Fear of what he did and the consequences of what he did. He's not afraid of the reason behind his behavior.
No. He's afraid of what's going to happen to him because of his behavior.
Like if he finds out the reason, that would be more dangerous than crashing his bus.
I've just found out the reason of why I was dancing and ignoring driving. Turns out I have repressed memories of not being able to dance when I was a kid. Is that worse than nearly killing yourself?
I have repressed memories of my dad not letting me watch the movie Footloose, which was about a repressed preacher not letting his kids dance.
Well, now you've started a new generation.
He has access to the relevant agencies to help him. He is on medication, and his long-term partner is extremely supportive. 27, long-term partner, stay-at-home dad. Are we sure he isn't 57? I love that this kid, and I say kid because he is only 27. Long-term partner, ecstasy problem, ADHD, drives a bus. He is the most accomplished 27-year-old I've ever seen. This guy's lived a life.
And his Saturn is returning.
It's like he's 27 in 1835. Like he's going to die soon, right?
This is the twilight
nearing
of his
the end of his life.
Well, he's definitely trying to make it so.
Jury, who is no longer employed by Laguna, was given a community order for 12 months, ordered to complete 35 rehabilitation activity requirement days, given an electric tag, keeping him inside between 8 p.m. and 6 p.m. for 3 months. Now, that is the most British phrase ever, and I love that we don't share any terms. I love that we just don't share any terms.
Like on purpose. They almost
community order, community service. Rehabilitation activity, rehab. Electronic tag,
ankle bracelet.
There you go.
Low jack.
He was also banned from driving for 2 years in order to pay a victim surcharge of 95 pounds and costs of 85 pounds. Wait, who's he paying this to?
To the victims.
Of who?
Of the bus company, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
There was no one on the bus.
Or maybe someone got fished out of a ditch.
I'm assuming he's going to have to pay for the bus to get fixed, right? Who knows? What was he listening to, Jay? Ariana Grande, thank you, next. Driver's License by Olivia Rodriguez? Maybe. He's young enough.
Car seat headrest?
Don't Bite by Doja Cat? What's happening here? Mr. Brightside?
Highway to Hell?
Maybe.
Something.
We don't know. And that is a show.
There you go.
Guys, that's how we do. Stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected. This is not a hoax.
But we've got the jokes.
Remember to wear a mask, guys. We can get through this. Don't dance while you're driving, or if you're dancing, just dance with your head. Stay focused, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.